Greetings. This is Justin Allen with the Elite Nurse Practitioner. Welcome to the Elite Nurse Practitioner Show, podcast dedicated to nurse practitioner entrepreneurism and achieving financial freedom, where I talk directly with nurse practitioners who need help. Listen up, our market is saturated. Jobs can be scarce. We are underpaid. We are undervalued. We are taken advantage of by the sharks within the healthcare system, and frankly, screw that. I'm sick of it, and it's time for a change. And listen, I'm here to help make that happen. We are powerful. We can forge a path where we are in control of our career and ultimately our financial and personal well-being. You do not need to submit to healthcare administrators and your doctor overlords. You do not have to take a measly salary. You do not have to work 50 to 60 hours a week. There is a different way, and I'm here to show you that path. This podcast is raw and unfiltered. I have not talked to the nurse practitioners in this podcast prior to the call outside of an email exchange to schedule the episode. What you're about to listen to is a consultation session between a nurse practitioner and myself. It is real, it is unscripted, it is unplanned, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Anything and everything can happen during our conversation. The nurse practitioners in these episodes are struggling with an issue in their professional or financial life, and they have reached out to me for help. My goal is to help the nurse practitioner with actionable advice that will enhance and improve their professional, business, and financial life. My other goal is to hopefully help my nurse practitioner sisters and brothers build a more productive, powerful, and free life. So I hope the content and information within these podcast episodes does just that. All right, onto the episode. Hello, everyone. Today, we are talking to Crystal. She is a dual certified adult and women's health nurse practitioner located in Florida. Crystal started her practice 3 months ago and is just not gaining the traction she had hoped. She is currently providing weight loss and hormone replacement therapy services and is hoping to get this off the ground so she can eventually break free from the rat race and become financially independent. Hey, Crystal, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Hey, thanks for hopping on this phone call. I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's just kind of jump right into this. So bring us up to speed. So how long have you been a nurse practitioner for? What's your experience been? What have you been doing? Where you're at with your practice? Just kind of fill us in with where you're at in life.
Okay. So I graduated from NP school in 2017. My first job as an NP, I was actually doing health risk assessments through a company called Signify Health. And so what they would do is not per diem. It was a per case that you saw. So they paid you like a 1099. So I did that for about 2 years. And then I was invited to apply for a job locally in Pensacola doing health assessments, disability exams for veterans. So I did that for about 1.5 to 2 years. I really started researching that more and realized that anybody can really contract with these veteran administration contractors. So you can subcontract on your own without having to have that third party. So I reached out and I decided to go ahead and get my business going because I ran the numbers and I knew what they were paying me versus what they were making off of me. And so I thought, well, I can do this. So I decided to form my own LLC, started my company, Charlie Delta Health Services, got a nice little office space that I'm subletting. It's just, me and my exam table with a nice little desk in it. And with 3 weeks after I had contracted with one of the contractors, my former employer got wind of it and the contractor pulled my contract. So I only made it 3 weeks in. So went on to plan B and C, which was weight loss and hormone therapy. These were all things I was planning to implement in my practice anyway. I just kind of had to hit the fast forward button. So I have a small advertising budget. And I really think that's what is holding me back. But I've been advertising a little bit on Facebook. I've got a Google ad going, but I've only had probably 2 or 3 weight loss patients since October. And I've had 2 going on 3 hormone pellet patients since November. So just not really seeing a lot of pickup in that business. Just feel like I'm pretty dead in the water, even though I'm on a busy road. So I've got a sign out front and all of that, but just not gaining that traction like I would like to.
Okay. Well, first off, I think that it might be a blessing in disguise that the Medicare contract was pulled. I mean,
yeah,
you're going to have to do all that Medicare charting and all that bullshit that comes along with that. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree.
Yeah. Okay. So anyways, though, you got this weight loss clinic, this hormone replacement therapy clinic kind of up and running. So kind of this general wellness practice, so to speak.
Yeah.
You've seen how many patients total? 5?
Let's see. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. And so you've been open now for 2 or 3 months?
Yes. But really with the weight loss and the hormone therapy, it's only been 1 to 2 months. 1 month with the hormone therapy, 2 months with the weight loss, 3 months total.
3 months total. Okay. Right. So 3 months ago, you started the Medicare thing, fell through, and then, you're just operating under the same LLC and everything then, correct?
Right. Correct. Yeah. So I've just
good.
LLC. I'm not doing a DBA or anything just yet.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. And the name of your practice was what?
Charlie Delta Health Services.
So first and foremost, I think that might be one of the issues there is, I don't know what the hell Charlie Delta Health Services does. So that tells me absolutely nothing.
Right.
Okay. So that might be the first problem. Okay. Something in that name should really get the point across. Okay.
Okay.
So maybe toy around with changing the name of it. I mean, since you already have the LLC form, you got the bank account, you got all that stuff done, just do a DBA. Don't bother forming a new LLC and stuff right now. You can just keep functioning the same LLC. I mean, the goal here is to get patients through the door, not what your LLC is called, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So anyway, so first and foremost, maybe think about changing the name. Do you have any thoughts on what you might name it?
So I'd have to do a DBA search in Florida because you can't request a specific name and request that it be held. So you can file for it. If nobody else has it, then they'll give it to you. If not, they'll reject it. But I was thinking Pensacola weight loss, or even because, I'm in a beach area. I know I'm not technically on an island, but like island weight loss or islands hormone and weight loss or something along those lines.
Okay. So maybe Pensacola weight loss and better body or something like that.
Something like that.
Something
Just
like
something
that.
With location, with what I do.
Okay, cool. So then, so definitely change the name. Just make sure that your service lines are, make sure it's pretty obvious. Now, HRT and weight loss, I mean, they complement each other, but they're kind of different things. I'm assuming you're doing women's and men's HRT?
Yes.
Yeah, something like better body, weight loss, wellness, things like that. So you want to talk about that anymore, or do you feel you can take care of that?
Oh, I can absolutely take care of that. It's just a matter of me going onto the website and doing it.
Do you already have a website built?
I do.
For your practice? Is it straight to the point, like weight loss, HRT? I mean...
Yeah, so it has all of that on there. And the top 3 services that I provide are on that homepage.
Okay, good. Will that domain name need to be changed?
Probably because it's cdhealthservices.com.
Yeah, you're gonna have to change that. That sounds like some weird thing the Department of Health does or something. So change the domain name, okay?
That shouldn't be a problem because I really when I tell you I'm computer illiterate and all of that, I 100% mean it. I can't build my website. I've tried doing that and it looks like trash. So I paid somebody to do it. It was not super expensive and they manage it. So all I have to do is request that they change that.
Yep. All they'll do is they'll basically just take the actual website itself and just redirect the domain to a different one. I mean, it should literally take them 5 minutes to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's really,
I'll request that.
Maybe something like PensacolaWeightLoss.com or something, just something real straight to the point. Okay. And then the practice location that you are in, you said it's on a main road?
Yeah. So I'm on a relatively busy road. I'm in an office park. It's just a little 1-story office park that has maybe 6 or 7 suites in it. I'm right across the street from a big giant Walmart. I'm only maybe a mile or 2 off of the interstate. So I'm not very far from the middle of everything. There's a huge level 1 trauma center with all kinds of crap, maybe a mile to 2 miles down the road from me. So it's just Sacred Heart, Pensacola. I'm right in the thick of it, just about.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're right across the street from a Walmart. I mean, you can't really ask for a better place.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, that's a killer location. Can people just not see your office? I mean, what's going on?
No, you can't see my actual suite because it's blocked by a bank. So that's the only thing. So I've got signage at the road front right now. It's a temporary sign. I've got to talk with my landlord about possibly splitting the signage. That's actually the permanent sign, the big kiosk at the roadway. So I've just got a giant sandwich board out there that just is like, hey, weight loss, and my logo and an arrow that points to me.
That's it.
That's all I've got.
Like the sandwich boards. You mean those ones that are like 2 feet by 2 feet, those little things?
No. This one's almost as big as me. It's almost 5 foot tall. I can barely pick it up off the ground and it's just at the top of my head.
I see. And that's placed where exactly?
Right on the roadway. I put it right by the entryway into that office park. So you can't miss it. And it's on both sides. So you can see the, the business name, and it's got little bullet points for the 4 services that I provide. And then it's got an arrow that shows you where to go.
Can you see that from the main road though?
Yes.
Easily?
Yes. I mean, it's not brightly colored. I've got some balloons on it. I've got some balloons on it to say, hey, here's this right here. Look at it. Because it's easy to get sign fatigue on that road. So there are so
Sure.
many signs and flags and flyers and all kinds of stuff that just kind of are on that main stretch because there's a lot of businesses through here.
Right.
So I'm competing for space.
Well, you got to make yours stand out. I mean,
Mhm.
some crazy colors or something,
Right.
pink, neon green, whatever you got to do.
That's actually
I
what
mean,
color my balloons are hot pink.
hot pink. There you go.
Hot
Okay.
pink.
All right. So you're on the right plane of thinking here. So, I mean, just something weight loss clinic, now seeing patients, boom, in an arrow or something. I mean, it has to be blatantly obvious. The sign for my men's health clinic literally says the name of my practice, testosterone clinic. I mean, there's no question what we do.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So don't give potential patients a job trying to figure out what it is that you do exactly. Okay. So super, super simple. They don't care about the name of your practice. They just care about what you do.
Okay. I said I can get some additional signs made up if I need to.
Can you put some flags out, like those big, 7-8 foot long flags? Can you put like things like
Absolutely.
that on the road?
Yep.
Maybe grab a few of those and just say weight loss clinic or something like that.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, if you are on a main road, lots of cars are passing and stuff. I mean, that's basically free advertising. You have to maximize that as much as you possibly can.
Okay.
So I would say easily, probably 30% of my men's health patients are literally people just driving by.
Okay.
And see the sign. Yeah. So it's really, really important. So that's just one leg of your marketing campaign here, your marketing strategy. So what else are you doing? You said you're doing some social media.
Yeah. And I have a Facebook page, also have an Instagram page. I try to be as active on that as I possibly can. I'm posting, if not once a day, at least once every other day. I've paid for some Facebook ads through like targeted marketing and everything, but I have gotten zero results from that, like no clicks, no messages, no phone calls, nothing.
But Facebook did approve the ad.
Yep, they did. Well, I didn't advertise any of the hormone stuff. It was all weight loss.
And they approved it.
And they approved it.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. A lot of times those weight loss ads, I mean, it's really hard to get those things approved on Facebook. Okay. I mean, if no one's clicking on them, something's wrong here. How much have you spent?
At this point, I mean, it's not a giant sum of money. I really have just dabbled in it to see what was successful, like $15, $20 here, $30 there, $60 here, but it's added up at this point to close to probably between $200 and $300 I've spent on Facebook ads.
So for Facebook ads to really convert, you should be spending $200 or $300 a day.
Okay. I do not have that
Right.
right.
I mean, it's hard to have that kind of marketing budget. I mean, $200 or $300 a day. I mean, you're talking what's $9,000 a month.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right. I mean, that's a big marketing budget, but it would pay off. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
As long as the ads were designed correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would advise that you do is create 3 to 6 different ad sets. Okay. And so by that, I mean 3 to 6 different graphics, 3 to 6 different offers, 3 to 6 different messages. So maybe one ad would say, Pensacola Weight Loss Clinic now open, seeing patients, free initial consultation, call now, something just real simple like that. And another one, maybe call now, 1 month free B12 injections with your consultation. Okay. Right. So come up with multiple different offers and then find out which one bites, find out which one actually starts converting.
Okay.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you how many ads that I have created for, my men's health clinic, my transgender telemedicine HRT practice that I ended up selling, the Elite NP. I mean, I couldn't tell you how many ads I've created that were just crickets. And then you create one, it takes off. You're like, okay, that's what I'm going to go with.
And hopefully that'll happen soon.
It should. You just have to kind of experiment with it. Marketing is never one of those set it and leave it kind of things. It's something that always has to be worked on. Yeah.
At this point, I've got a Google ad running and I just finished a Facebook ad. This is my end of the year December special. So I'm not the only weight loss clinic in the area. Naturally, there's a handful of other clinics and they've been around for a few years. So they're successful. They're able to do something. And there's plenty of people to go around, but most of them offer phentermine at $125 a month. And so for my end of the year special, I'm offering it $99 for the month. So I've had a couple of bites on that, but it's just been a couple of people that have said they're interested, but they've not actually pulled the trigger to actually do the EKG or anything like that.
So you got about a month, to take advantage of this. So, I mean, you could say something like, paying too much for your weight loss, phentermine $99 or whatever. I mean, you're going to make it just blatantly honest. I mean, blatantly obvious. Yeah. This is the thing though about social media. All right. You could spend $500 on that and blast it out over Facebook, social media, and not a single person who might be getting Phentermine from one of those other weight loss clinics sees the ad. So it's kind of it's a roll of a dice. So, trying to get patients from other clinics to come to you might not be maybe worthwhile instead of just trying to build your own base up. Right. But once word gets out and spreads that you're cheaper than everyone else, I mean, people will naturally gravitate towards you. Mm-hmm. So you said you had a Google ad up. Yeah. How much are you spending on
that? Right now. So, they have the daily price that you can set. So I essentially have a daily budget of between $10 to $15. And that's just, I've actually gotten more hits off of that than Facebook. Yeah. I've gotten phone calls from that than anything else. And truly, I mean, that's just the two people I've gotten off of that were for hormone therapy. They weren't for the weight loss. So, which is fun.
Sure. So when they call, what's going on? What's the holdup? Why aren't they converting into a paying patient?
I mean, completely honestly, like 2 or 3 of the people that have called, they weren't even looking for weight loss. They were looking for some other clinic and accidentally got my number, I guess, from an ad that they clicked versus the company they were looking for. And they weren't even looking for weight loss. And then the others I've actually converted because I talked to them on the phone and they were asking about my services and I did convert them. Those were the hormone pellet people. They did convert. And then the weight loss patients that I have they've been word of mouth. It's just people that I've physically seen and maybe knocked on their door locally, the other offices that are in my office park. So that's gotten me more than what Facebook has, is just being face to face with people. So I have a really good closing rate once I actually am able to talk to somebody.
Right. So once you get people in the door, it gets people to call.
Right.
The conversion rate's pretty high.
My conversion rate is probably close to 100%, if not right at it.
Just about right. Because those other people that called thought you were Delta, whatever.
Yeah, they thought I was something else. Yeah.
Right. Department of Health.
I asked if COVID test. Yeah, they thought I was a dental clinic, and I was like, no.
No. Yeah, Delta Dental. I mean, I could totally see that.
Yes, I can see that as well.
Okay, all right. So I mean, almost 100% close rate. So this is telling me that we just got to get some people through the damn door.
Right.
So,
I don't know what to do. Maybe I need to go out there with some flags and flag down people on the roadway. I'm joking.
Whatever. If it works, it works,
Wear a sandwich board out there.
Yeah, there's no shame in it, whatever. No. So you got to have an offer, okay? You got to just get people in the door. Give them something for free. Okay. Give them something for free, just something as simple as a free 15-minute phone consultation, will help you convert people. We do that with my men's health practice and it works great.
Okay.
Free 15-minute phone consultation. I just talk to the guy over the phone for 10 or 15 minutes, what are your needs, so forth and so forth. And I would say the close rate on that's probably 75%.
Okay.
Think about something like that or free B12 shots. I mean, B12 costs you nothing.
Oh yeah. I've got a whole vial of it sitting here ready for whoever wants to walk through the door.
Right. It costs you nothing. I mean, one injection costs you what, a nickel or something? Maybe. I mean, it costs nothing. Right. Free B12 shots. People love free stuff. Maybe consider doing some various offers. Just get people in the door. Yeah. I mean, 5 patients, 5 or 6 patients that you've had in 2 months, while it's not great, it could be worse. It could be 0.
Right.
So, yeah.
They've at least helped me, pay my bills for the most part. And that's really where my issue is I'm getting to the point where, the savings that I had was great, but I've had to pull money from my personal account to keep my expenses paid at the moment. So I've got, people coming through the door. I can pay my rent. I can pay my internet bill and all of that. But then there was some additional training and stuff that I had gone through for the hormone pellet placement and all of that, I had to pay for along with the website. So I've had to pull some money over and just kind of loan it to my business. And so I'm ready to really just get some people through the door so that I can pay myself back.
Sure. Well, I mean, that's kind of part of operating a business. I mean, you kind of just have to do that at first for a little while.
Yeah.
So with that said, in terms of your expenses and those sorts of things, what are your monthly expenses right now?
So right now, my monthly expenses would be, let me do some quick math, roughly $1,200 to $1,300 a month.
Oh, that's not bad. Could be worse.
It could be way worse.
Could be way worse. Yeah.
And that's not including like the advertising, like any of that. I'm not even including that. This is just base level. Crystal gets to stay in this office expenses.
Right. Bare bones minimum.
Right.
Right. But it keeps the door open.
Correct.
Right. So your overall expenses are super low here.
Right.
If you remain patient, it will happen. So yeah, I mean, sometimes it takes 3 to 6 months for a practice to go on autopilot. The practice's revenues covering the practice's expenses. So sometimes it can take 3 to 6 months for that to actually happen. But it ultimately just depends on how much money you're going to spend marketing.
Right.
I mean, yeah. So marketing should be the number one expense in your business, and right now it's not.
Right.
So,
And that is why
yeah.
I'm looking at part-time employment specifically to shove that money into the advertising budget.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. I was picking up shifts at a methadone clinic doing their Suboxone program. I was picking up shifts in the ER. I mean, I was picking up shifts when I first started my men's health medical cannabis clinic to pay the bills. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that might not be a bad idea. If you could throw $1,000 a month into your marketing budget, I promise you, if it's done correctly, it'll convert patients.
I'm looking at going back to Signify. So I've got a phone call with them either today or tomorrow to re-credential with them because it was easy money. Like the job wasn't difficult. You just have to be okay with going into people's houses, and sometimes things are gross, but that's okay. But it was easy money. So, I mean, if you're looking at, they pay you $80 per assessment that you do and give you a $40 per diem. So if you see 8 people in a day, which is easy to do, I mean, you're making $640, $680. So, I mean, 2 days would cover my advertising budget. And that was really my plan.
Yes, absolutely. And this is a 1099 position, right?
Correct.
That means that money is going to go into your business account tax-free, and you'll be able to spend it tax-free on your business.
Wonderful. Sounds great.
Yeah. Just for anyone listening that doesn't understand that, when you're paid as a 1099, you are paid tax-free. It goes into your account. You should be paid as an LLC, as a business, as a 1099. That money can then be spent tax-free on your business. So that's exactly what I did working in the ER in the Suboxone practice. I was working 1099. Money would go into my men's health clinic's LLC, and I spent it on my men's health clinic tax-free. So yeah, take advantage of that for sure. So if you go pick up 2 shifts a month, man, you'll have $1,000 a month to market with. I promise you it'll work. It'll pay off. All right. I hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick break to thank everyone listening and also give a big thank you to all of my social media followers and email subscribers. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our email list at www.elitenp.com and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Email subscribers will receive updates on new weekly podcast episodes, multiple weekly articles we publish, new courses, and everything else related to helping you succeed. Remember, all elite nurse practitioner courses are designed to help you build a niche practice, increase your financial strength, and to break free from the rat race. If I can break free and that other countless nurse practitioners can break free, then so can you. Additionally, please share this podcast with your other nurse practitioner sisters and brothers out there. The more NPs that venture out on their own, the stronger our profession will become. Now, let's get back to the episode. So if the Google ad that you had worked, maybe that tells you that people are looking for services, and maybe that's where you should dump a little bit more of your money on. Maybe up that marketing budget for the Google ad to $500 a month.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at is I've not really been interested in the interruption marketing so much as people that they're already searching for weight loss services. So if they're already searching for weight loss services, they're already ready to purchase something or to give somebody money. So I want my name up there. Part of the issue with the SEO management is I have come to learn that with Google, it's about tenure. How long basically have you existed before they actually start recognizing you and showing you in any prominent place. So I have finally actually started showing up on Google search when you search Pensacola weight loss or weight loss clinics Pensacola, but I'm down at the very bottom of the list when you click on the maps. But I'm still there. I consider that a victory because I don't have the budget of the big hospital's weight loss program because, they push surgical weight loss at the hospital, and there's various other larger weight loss clinics in the area too. So I don't have their budget yet, but I'm not worried about it.
No, that's fine. I mean, people will come to you, but you made a good point that, you want clients that are warmed up to the idea, clients that are looking for you versus just, essentially cold calling people. I mean, those ads that are going on social media are just going to be thrown in people's faces that might have, they don't care. They're not interested in weight loss, right? So with that said, your Google My Business listing, is it up and running? You have pictures on it, reviews?
It's up and running. I don't have reviews yet, but I do have pictures on it. I've been trying to do some sort of update on it at least once, if not twice a week. I've taken pictures of the outside. I've done a video of the outside to show people what it looks like and how to get to me. Taking pictures of the inside. I'll put pictures of my current offers up on my business profile as well. So, and based off of the metrics, like it's getting a lot of views.
Good. Well,
So
awesome.
just in the last month, I mean, I know it's small potatoes, but I've had between 400 and 500 views on that business profile just in the last month.
Great. So that tells you that there's people looking for services. So why didn't they click on yours? Why didn't they click the call button or go to your website? Why didn't they do that? They probably went somewhere else. And I can tell you one of the main reasons is that you don't have reviews.
I was about to say the same thing. I feel like it's because I don't have any reviews.
Absolutely. 100%. I guarantee it. So think about when you go to a new city on vacation and you're looking at restaurants on Google, you're not going to go to the restaurant that has no reviews or a rating of 3 stars. You're going to go to the one that has 400 reviews, 5-star rating.
Right.
Human nature. So you got to get some reviews up there. So the patients that you have, you got to get them to give you some reviews, and you need to start treating some friends and family, and they need to start giving you some reviews. Okay. Get some reviews on that.
Okay.
Word of warning though, do not pay one of these services online to give you reviews.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just FYI, Google catches wind of that, or anyone really. I mean, they will take your page down. And anyways, don't use one of those services.
I don't want that at all.
Get some reviews on there. Critically important.
Okay.
With the pictures and stuff, I mean, if 400 or 500 people are clicking on your Google listing, then having offers on there, that's a great idea. Maybe have an offer on there, $99 per month for phentermine, cheaper than any other clinic in town, something along those lines.
Okay. I guess I've just not been cutthroat enough with my description. I think maybe that's where I need to go with it.
Cutthroat, straight to the point. Boom.
Because it's just like December only, $99 phentermine special, but I need to do the cutthroat. Hey, we're cheaper than these guys down the road. Come see me.
Yep.
I'm not going to name them.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So do that. Now, I think if you just try to keep it as simple as possible here with the marketing though, maybe $500 a month for the Google ads. And then with Facebook, I want you to go maybe throw another $500 a month at that for just a couple months.
Okay.
Create 3 to 6 different ad sets, and then divide that $500 a month between those 3 ad sets. And then really keep a good eye on tracking which ones are converting and which ones aren't.
Okay.
You have nothing to lose. You have $1,000 to lose in a month of time. This is a long game. This isn't a short game.
Correct.
Okay. So if you did that, are there any opportunities for you to advertise locally?
As far as like local magazines?
Yeah, magazines, billboards.
There are local billboards. I've got a phone call set up for a local billboard company here. I'm afraid they're going to be a little bit out of my budget, out of my reach. Just from what I could see from their ranges, it's a little bit more than what I can afford at the moment. But there's tons of billboards. I mean, there's billboards everywhere. And there's just one company that owns pretty much all the billboards in Pensacola. And so I need to talk to them. But that was my next step this week. Tomorrow and Friday, I'm pounding the pavement again. So I'm going to hit up all the local gyms because we're getting ready to start new year, new me type people. People that are coming into the gym might want a little extra boost in their weight loss with some medical weight loss management. So thought maybe I could drop some flyers there, speak to the gym's owner, not like these big box gyms, like Planet Fitness or anything like that, but locally owned and operated gyms or nutrition centers, like all of these little nutrition places that are popping up that have the little teas and the shakes and all of that. Considered even dropping some flyers there.
Absolutely, for sure. I think it's all a great idea. Good point with staying away from those giant corporate gyms. They have an absolute no advertising kind of policy. So don't even waste your time. I've tried. Yeah. The local places for sure. You might be able to get some ads in maybe like the locker rooms or the bathrooms there at the gyms. I mean, I know a lot of the time some of these gyms have ads in their bathrooms. So if you can get an ad in there, that'd be huge.
Okay. I'll call around, see what they offer, see if they've got anything like that.
Now, there usually are some marketing companies, regional marketing companies that have ads up on TV screens in gyms, restaurants, airports, these kinds of things. If you can find the marketing agency that does that, those ads can convert really well also. If you've ever seen those, just sit there and watch it. And usually the name of it will be like at the bottom of the screen. Call that place up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll look for that.
And like I mentioned, in a lot of my courses, advertisements for my men's health clinic in bars and restaurants. We have little ads above the urinals
Okay.
in bars and restaurants. It says, low libido, erectile dysfunction, whatever, men's health testosterone clinic, benefits of testosterone. And it's right there in front of the urinals. The guy's going pee. It's right in front of his face. I get more patients from those stupid ads than anything else.
Maybe that's something I need to do too.
Like, seriously, I have no shame. It works.
Well, I'll definitely look into that. Men's health is not like the primary focus, but I can absolutely advertise
Yeah.
that I offer men's health services as well.
Same principle though, like in restaurants and whatever. Right, exactly. So do that. Maybe $1,000 to $1,500 a month. Start there. Start with the Google ads, some Facebook ads, and maybe a local regional ad, and start there. You are correct about billboards. Billboards are very expensive. So it might be out of your budget. If you could get a billboard in a really, really good spot, it could pay off. But billboards are short-term marketing tools. They are good for getting the word out locally for a 2 to 3 month campaign. And after that, you cut it off.
Okay. Yeah, there's several of the digital billboards around that are in really good locations when I tell you I'm right in the midst of it, like I'm a mile from a giant shopping mall, like shopping complex, the hospital's right across the street, and then I'm across from the Walmart. So it's just, there's a huge area. I just need people to know I'm here.
Right, exactly. That's it. The world doesn't know you exist.
Right.
You just got to let them know. You're in a great location. Yeah. So get that sign redone too.
Okay.
But yeah. Any other questions that you might have in terms of marketing goes?
No, I think we've covered everything.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Now, in terms of finding a part-time job and those sorts of things, are you pretty confident you'll be able to get back into your previous job?
Yes. So they had actually sent me an email. I think they still thought I worked for them, even though I had not worked for them in almost 2 years. But they sent me an email asking if I was planning to re-credential. And I said, well, at the time, no. That was back in August. I was getting ready to start all of this up. And I said, no, not interested at the time. He said, well, if you ever become interested, please let us know and we can get you re-credentialed. And so I've reached out to him and they're going to work on that. That's why we had to talk on the phone either today or tomorrow. I don't know exactly when he's going to be calling me, but if he doesn't call me, I'm calling him. But that's definitely the plan. Like I said, they're 1099s. They have you go all over the place. I've got, 2 licensures in Alabama and in Florida because I'm right on the state line. So I can see a lot of people.
Good.
And I've done it before. So should be easy work.
Okay, good. So moving on to the next point here in terms of, your goal of eventually becoming financially independent here. So where are you at financially in your life here? It sounds like that you're living fairly frugally right now, not working and getting this practice up and running. So where are you at? What's your monthly personal expenses like? Is your husband bringing in an income? Just kind of give us just a real brief snapshot of kind of where you're at.
So we live where my husband works. So he is a maintenance director at a camp and conference center in South Alabama. So that's where we live. They provide us with housing. So we have our own house that we don't have to pay anything for. So our monthly expenses are actually really low, which is why I was able to kind of branch out and do this. And of course, I never would have done it without his support or anything like that. But he's been my number one cheerleader and champion through all of this. But still, it's a tight budget because what he brings in is not what I was bringing in. He brings in probably a third of what I was making as a nurse practitioner working at my previous job. But as far as monthly expenses, we've just got our cell phone, our internet service. We've got a small car payment. And then we've just got my student loans, which right now are still on deferment from the pandemic, whatever it was that they signed, the pandemic executive order. But those aren't due back for me until April. So I've still got another, 5 months before I have to worry about starting to pay those back. So our expenses are relatively low.
Yeah, you're in the perfect position to start a business. You'd be a fool not to be taking advantage of this right now.
That's why I'm doing it.
Right. Yeah. No, good for you. Okay. So then moving forward here with this business and, getting a part-time job. So have you considered how you're going to allocate your time to the upcoming part-time job and your business?
Yes. So right now I've gone back and I've looked. My busiest days are Mondays and Fridays for my clinic. So those are usually when I field the most phone calls and when I've actually had patients schedule appointments. So Tuesdays and Wednesdays are usually pretty wide open. Nobody has scheduled appointments on those days in the 3 months that I've been open. Thursdays, I do homeschool my kids. So we do a homeschool co-op on Thursdays. So that's kind of out of the question right now, but I could do Tuesdays and Wednesdays with this company, every single week if I needed to, and just have appointments open on Mondays and Fridays. I've even considered shifting my hours to evening hours if we needed to for my business to capture that after work crowd.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think it's necessary to even be open the full day, Monday and Friday?
Probably not. Because my weight loss patients, nobody takes the early morning appointments. Everybody wants the afternoon appointments.
That's kind of what I've realized as well. Most people like to be seen in the afternoon. Friday afternoons tend to be great days for these little wellness practices for some reason. Yeah.
Everybody gets paid.
Right. Everyone's gotten paid and they're getting off of work early. Right. Exactly. So what I would maybe recommend that you do here, treat this as a part-time practice right now instead of a full-time practice. I mean, don't treat it as a full-time practice until it's basically justifiable. And to justify going from, part-time practice to a full-time practice, I think that time is when you're booking out 2 weeks out. When you're starting to book out 2 weeks out because your schedule is just so full, it's time to start giving more hours to your business.
Okay.
People have a short attention span. I mean, if they can't get into you within a week, they're just going to go somewhere else. Okay. So just kind of keep that in mind. But I think that right now, having some money and padding up your business account should be a priority for you. So you have the money to spend on marketing and growing this business. So if you can, maybe work 3 to 4 days at this part-time job and just start stowing away that cash.
All right.
If you could build that up to $5,000 or $10,000, now you have some money to play with because you got to have money to make money. So that's probably what I would recommend that you do. And, we're recording this mid-December, 2021. I'd probably wait till the beginning of the year to really start padding that account up so you don't have to pay taxes on it.
That sounds like a plan.
Cool. Well, do you have any other questions? Anything else you'd like to talk about?
No, that's pretty much it. That's my main problem is just getting people through the door. I think we've covered some great bases on getting the ball rolling on that. Yeah,
I think if you can just remain patient, I think it'll do well for you. I think that you just have to give it some time. I mean, it took most of my businesses 3 to 6 months to really start, generating any kind of significant money.
Okay.
I mean, I know other NPs that have started practices and it's taken, 12 months to really build up, a significant income.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. Well, there's nothing else you'd like to talk about. I want to thank you very much for hopping on this phone call.
All right. Well, I appreciate you having me on. It's been a learning experience for sure. Thank you.
Cool. You are welcome. Thank you very much for hopping on the phone call. I'm sure everyone else appreciates you coming in here and sharing your experience.
Yes. Thanks.
I hope everyone enjoyed the conversation with Crystal. So Crystal is doing okay for only being 1 or 2 months into it. Okay. Now she's only seen 5 patients, but she's spent very little money on marketing. So I think that the message here that I want everyone to walk away from this episode with is that sometimes it just takes a little patience and a little money to get your practice up and running. So far, her patients have mostly been word of mouth. She's had a couple from Google. So we can deduce that the Google ads are something that she should focus her energies on. So she just needs to put a little bit more money into that. And then obviously fix the sign out on the main road. If you have roadside frontage, that's free marketing and it converts really, really well. Okay. Patients drive by it, they see it, and they come into your practice. Great foot traffic. But I think that what Crystal needs to do too is just give it a little bit of time. Some NPs strike gold, some don't. You read a lot of these stories about a lot of these nurse practitioners starting these practices up and making $10,000 their first month. That is not the norm. Sometimes it takes 3 to 6 months to get to $10,000 a month. Hell, sometimes it can take up to a year to get to that point. Some NPs are just at the right place at the right time, offering the right service, and there's just some luck involved, right? For other people like Crystal, she has some competition. She's in a great location. So I think in her situation, if she just remains patient and just keeps going, I think this will turn into a very profitable business within a year. She's keeping her expenses low. Therefore, this is totally realistic. She's going to follow the elite NP model. She's working part-time with a part-time business. She's financially secure. She doesn't need that much money to live off of, and her business does not need that much money to survive. So if she can work part-time and funnel some of that money back into her practice, she can be patient and allow this practice to grow itself. So keep this in mind, everyone. You have to give it some patience. You have to give it some time, and you got to put a little bit of money into the business for it to grow. Hope everyone enjoyed this episode. I'll talk to you next time. Thanks. Bye. Thank you for listening to the show. Quick legal disclaimer. The content of this podcast is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be used as legal, financial, medical, regulatory, or practice-specific advice. For information pertaining to your specific legal, financial, medical, or practice-specific needs, please be sure to consult with your lawyer, CPA, medical director, and/or your state's practice laws and the most up-to-date clinical guidelines. As always, do your due diligence when it comes to any information found online and in podcast. The content of this podcast is copyrighted by Galaxy Medical Southwest 2022 and cannot be duplicated, rebroadcasted, or reproduced without our written permission.